Hello friends, good afternoon my dear fourth year students. As you know, we are facing COVID-19 infection. That's why we are not able to meet you personally in the lecture room, lecture hall. So we are using information technology for this purpose. I am recording this lecture. It will be helpful to you in future also. You can save. I will upload to YouTube. This is my first lecture, and the first lecture should be introduction to particular subject, to respective subject. I am Dr. Vasnik, Sumedh Vasnik, Professor and HOD of Shalya Tantra Department. As I am concerned with Shalya Tantra, that is general surgery, Ayurveda surgery. The first lecture of any subject, of any branch, should be introduction to the subject. In this particular lecture, I'll introduce to you with surgery. This introduction will helpful to you to know the basic of surgery, basic terms, fundamentals of the surgery. Sorry. Now, what is definition of surgery? What is surgery? What do you mean by surgery? Surgery literally means working exclusively with hands. Working exclusively with hands. It's an art. It's an art provided having knowledge, skills and experience. Surgery is an art. This is the literally meaning. Now, what is actual definition according to medical science, medical dictionary? What is surgery? Surgery is highly developed branch of medical science. It is a highly developed branch of medical science which deals with the study of correction of congenital anomaly or deformities, repair of injuries, trauma and injuries, and treatment of certain diseases. These diseases are called surgical diseases by operative procedures. By operative procedure is surgery. So again I repeat, what is surgery? Surgery is highly developed branch of medical science. Among all branches of medical science, surgery is of prime importance. It is on the top since ancient era till date. It is a highly developed branch of medical science which deals with the study of correction of congenital anomalies or deformities. Congenital means anomalies or deformities which are present since birth. These are called congenital anomalies. Repair of trauma and injuries. If the patient gets trauma or injury, unfortunately, the surgeon has to repair. Surgeon has to correct. So repair of trauma or injuries and treatment of certain diseases. This certain diseases means only surgical diseases. By operative procedure. So there are certain diseases which can be only cured by operative procedures. For example, hernia. Hernia has no medical treatment, no medical remedy, no drug treatment. Patient has to undergo surgical treatment, means operation, operative procedure. So this is full definition of surgery. I hope you got it. Again I repeat it because it is not mentioned in the book, fully in the book. So I have collected from, I have referred many books, I have collected, collaborated these sentences, and I am putting before you. Surgery is the branch of medical science which deals with the study of congenital anomalies and deformities, repair of injuries and trauma, and treatment of certain diseases by operative procedure is called surgery. Now, in this definition, the second line comes. There is physical, mental, emotional intervention of surgeon to the patient, because we are not dealing with technical things, we are dealing with human being, we are dealing with patient. So technically anybody can do surgery. Technically, if a robot performs surgery, it's surgery. If a surgeon performs surgery, it is also surgery. Now, what is the difference between these two things? Okay, the difference is physical, mental, emotional involvement. So this is a very important aspect of surgery as well as any sort of treatment. So this is the definition. Now come to types of surgery. Types of surgery. Which are the types? You get lot of classification, lot of types in various books, in various pattern. But surgery can be elective, it can be emergency. Sorry. What is elective surgery? Elective means planned surgery. Planned surgery. If a patient comes to you with a surgical problem, you examine the patient, you make the diagnosis, then you plan for surgery on this particular day, by this particular surgeon with this particular anesthetic, the particular procedure will be done. This is planned surgery. Planned surgery. So you can plan all these things. You have got a lot of time to plan. There should not be any rush or hurry. Now second type, emergency surgery. Emergency. Emergency means you don't have too much time to plan. Patient comes to you under emergency condition and you will have to take the decision urgently and you will have to perform the surgery urgently. Emergency surgery. Within a short period you will have to perform the surgery or the procedure. This is emergency surgery. Appendectomy means removal of appendix can be elective. It can be urgent also. Likewise, hernia operation can be elective or planned. It can be emergency also under certain circumstances. Second classification is conservative surgery and radical surgery. Conservative surgery and radical surgery. Conservative means the particular lesion, the particular part is operated. For example, I develop cyst over this portion. This particular cyst is excised or removed by surgeon, this is conservative surgery. But if unfortunately the lesion is malignant or is of cancer, then the lesion is excised along with surrounding normal tissue, along with regional lymph nodes also. This is radical surgery, which is mainly done in malignancies or cancer. Radical means the lesion is excised, the disease portion is excised, the disease part is removed along with normal healthy tissue, surrounding tissue with lymph nodes, regional lymph nodes. This is radical surgery. We have next classification, minor surgery and major surgery. Minor means a small operation, small surgery, removal of cyst, primary suturing, removal of ganglion, removal of foreign body. These are minor procedures which can be done in minor OT. Surgery can be major. Major means you require more equipments, you require anesthesiologist, you require whole team to be involved in the procedure. This is major surgery like laparotomy, appendectomy, hernia operations, hydroceles operation. Surgery can be supramajor. Surgery can be supramajor means like brain surgery, heart surgery, cancer surgery. So you need to have a specialized teams, maybe 2 to 3 teams working together over there. You will have to have special instruments, equipments for the procedure. You need to have a special OT complex, special environment also. This is supramajor surgery, which is not done routinely. These surgeries, they are being done in metro cities, metro hospitals, major tertiary center or major centers. So these are the classification of surgery. There are certain special types of surgery, say daycare surgery. Daycare surgery means a short time surgery. A short period is required to perform all the procedure. For example, even if you want to remove a cyst, patient comes in the morning, patient gets investigated, preoperative is done, patient operated in the afternoon, patient discharged by evening. That is a daycare surgery. Daycare means short hospitalization. The concept, it is being coming up in this area because we don't have too much time to spend in hospitals. So patient says, I'll stay 1 day or hardly 2 days in the hospital. So many of the surgeons, many of the institutes, they prepare daycare surgery. Second subtype is minimum invasive surgery. Minimum invasive surgery. Minimum means small, minute. Invasive means invagination. A small incision is taken and the procedure is performed. For example, laparoscopic surgery. In abdominal operations, you no need to take a big incision over abdomen, open the abdomen and perform the surgery. You will have to just introduce laparoscope through umbilicus, get this procedure performed. That's all. Minimum invasive surgery. Endoscopic procedures, they are also minimum invasive procedures. Endoscopy, cystoscopy, all scopy, minimum invasive. We have another type, special type, robotic surgery. Robotic surgery. Robo, you know, robo. Robo is a human being without any emotional or sensational caution. Robo is instrument and equipments. Robo is, in another word, human being without any emotions. In many major institutes in metro city, the robotic surgery have already been introduced. Many procedures they are being performed by robo. There will be accuracy, minimum bleeding. Robo surgeon gives command, or everything is fed in the robo, and according to commands, orders, robo will perform the surgery. That is robotic surgery. But it is not available in every center. It is expensive. Another concept, another special type is space surgery. Space surgery. You know, our late Prime Minister, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he underwent an operation of total knee replacement by Dr. Arun Ranawat in Bombay Hospital, Mumbai. They created a space-like atmosphere in OT complex. They wore space suit. Surgery is performed in Bombay Hospital by creating all setup, all environment of space. Why of space? You know, after certain limits of beyond Earth atmosphere, there will be no bacteria, viruses, no pathological microorganisms. So there is no chance of infection. It is said that in future surgery will be performed in the space. Another special type is aseptic surgery. Aseptic surgery means no sepsis, means no infection. All measures, all things, all protocols are followed to prevent infection. That is aseptic surgery. Of course, nowadays every surgery, every surgical procedure is aseptic. So these are the special types of surgery. After these special types, we'll go through certain terms of surgery, certain basic terms. By the time we'll discuss all the terms, all the diseases afterwards. But there are few basic terms which you should know. The first term is surgeon. So what do you mean by surgeon? What is surgeon? Surgeon is a specialized doctor who is trained in surgery. Who is trained in surgery. So there is post-graduation, after graduation there is post-graduation in surgery, say general surgery, ophthalmic surgery, gynec surgery. There is again super specialization, cardiac surgery, plastic surgery, microvascular surgery, neurosurgery also. So these are the super specialization. Specialization, super specialization. After graduation, you can do specialization and super specialization, and you will be known as surgeon. Surgeon, general surgeon, or specialized surgeon, or super specialized surgeon also. What is surgical team? What is surgical team? You see, surgery is always, my teacher also used to say, surgery is a teamwork. It is a teamwork. Medical staff, paramedical staff, pre-medical staff, pre-para staff, even technical staff, they are involved in the procedure. A surgeon cannot perform surgery independently. By all means, he need to have this staff working together to perform surgery. So it's always a teamwork, and this teamwork combinedly gives better result than individual. Surgical team, mainly it involves medical staff. Medical staff means chief surgeon or operating surgeon, assistant surgeon, uh, your residents, PG students, interns, UG students. These are the medical staff. Paramedical staff means nursing staff, mainly nursing staff. OT attendant, OT sister, matron. This is paramedical staff. Technical staff and other staff, they all involved in this procedure. Once the procedure is planned, it is conveyed, it is informed to all the team, and so that team works accordingly, according to their job profile, according to their duties. This is surgical team. There is OT. The word comes operation theatre or OT complex. OT complex means actual the procedure is done. In every hospital, in every medical college of any pathy or any branch, there is OT complex. OT complex is the area where the operation and say major or minor operations they are done. In this OT area, say there is one operation theatre, major operation theatre, there is minor operation theatre where the minor procedures are performed, there is a doctor's room or surgeon's room, there is nursing station, sterilization room, there is pre-operative room and recovery room, and all these rooms except OT or operation theatre, all rooms they are attached with toilet, bathroom. So this is OT complex. I hope you got till this. The next thing is you must know history of any subject, history of anything. I'll say anything. Unless you know the history, you can't create the history. Today we have a high standard of surgery, high standard. Even you can't imagine how the surgery is developed. But this high standard has gone through ages, has gone through many steps, many milestones. And this is history. And you must know this history. You must know how surgery is developed, evolution of surgery. A journey of thousands mile, it starts with a single step. This is Chinese proverb. Likewise, surgery, we see very developed branch. It has also gone through many milestones. So let us see which are they. In history of surgery, what I think, my personal view, being a Ayurveda surgeon, being a student of Ayurveda, I proudly saying surgery starts with Ayurveda. If you see the era of Ayurveda or our Shushruta Samhita, it is almost before 5000, around 5000. Exactly, we don't know. There are controversies about the actual period, but around 5000 year ago, surgical description of diseases, surgical principles, surgical fundamentals, surgical treatment has been mentioned in Shushruta Samhita. Among all 8 branches of Ayurveda, surgery is given prime importance. So this is the proud this is a very fortunate thing for us to have this Samhita mention all surgical knowledge. There was separate discipline, surgical discipline called Dhanvantari Sampradaya. Dhanvantari means surgical discipline, surgical branch. And Shushruta, Acharya Shushruta, is one of the pioneer of Ayurveda surgery. But according to modern medical science, they separated a development of surgery into 3 eras. First era, prehistoric time. Second era, middle era, and third era is current era. Surgery has gone through these 3 eras: prehistoric time, middle era, and current era. So surgery has already gone through these 3 eras. Now we have developed branch. Right now we have. In prehistoric time, they found a skull, and the skull was drilled with holes. Might be to reduce increase intracranial pressure. You see, they found skull in prehistoric time, and the skull were drilled with a hole. Neurosurgery. This is very amazing, neurosurgery. In prehistoric time also, in ancient Egypt, near about 2600 BC, mandible shows mandible means this portion showed perforation means uh, just like drilled, what I said right now just before. Mandible showed a drill. They might have incised tooth abscess. In Egypt, they used honey to treat various wounds. So these are the documented proofs in prehistoric time. In India, maybe before prehistoric time, historic time, or during historic time, we found lot of literature regarding surgery, regarding Ayurvedic surgery, regarding all branches of medical sciences. In Greece, they believed in healer god. They have god just like Dhanvantari. They have Asclepius, Asclepius, their god name. They worship that god just like we worship Dhanvantari. They have mentioned incision and drainage treatment for abscesses. Surprisingly, they also mention laparotomy. Laparotomy means opening of abdomen for operative procedure. And you know Galen, who lived in 1st century. Galen, who is the best anatomist we ever have. Galen, though he was anatomist, he was also best surgeon of that era. He wrote book on anatomy, and you know anatomy is the base of surgery. Without knowing anatomy, you can't operate, you can't be a surgeon. That's why Shushruth focused on Sharir Sthan. Acharya Shushruth, he focused on Sharir Sthan. Sharir Sthan means anatomy. We also found references in Islamic era, Islamic word. In Middle era, it was mainly associated or concerned with European countries, American countries and European countries. Till 15th century, one thing I missed, I should share first, just a minute. I miss the Roman culture, which is the best culture we have in the world, of course, after India. In Roman culture, just like Dhanvantari, they have Apollo. Apollo means god of medicine or god of medical science. There were near about 47 books which were written on religious purpose, religion. These are the spiritual books, 47. Among 47 books, there were 12 books which were written on medical science. in Roman culture, Italian culture. 12 books were there specially on medical science. In those books, they mention treatment of wounds, even they mention fractures, dislocation. They mention use of honey for treatment of wound healing. For wound healing, they used to use honey. For the first time, they also mention the concept of infection. Concept of infection in Roman culture. Sorry, I missed it. Now, see the Middle Era. Middle Era, mainly concerned with European countries. Till 15th century, doctor is doctor. Doctor is doctor. There was no specialization. You can practice any branch. But for the first time in medical science, in England, Royal College of Physician and Surgeon was established. There were two specialization, first medicine, second surgery. For the first time in the medical science, we had two specialization, first medicine, second surgery. There were few students who learned surgery. Among these students, there was a French army person, Ambrose Paré. Ambrose Paré. Among first few surgical specialized trained students, trained surgeons, Ambrose Paré, basically from France. He was the army person. Afterwards, he became army surgeon. He did tremendous work in surgery. That's why Ambrose Paré is known as father of modern surgery. Father of modern surgery. Proudly saying, Acharya Sushruta is known as father of surgery, father of plastic surgery. With Ambrose Paré, there were a few students like Galen, Vesalius, Reginius. Those were students. They did lot of work in surgical field. They brought some revolutionary changes. They modified some things, and because of their work, their genuine work, their dedication, devotion, we have the higher developed form of surgery. Wait a minute. There is a name, John Hunter. You might be knowing John Hunter, who is a Scottish surgical scientist. And John Hunter is referred as father of modern scientific surgery. Ambrose Paré, father of modern surgery. John Hunter, father of modern scientific surgery. For the first time, he brought empirical and experimental idea approaches in the surgical science. At that time, he had around 15,000 specimens of surgery. You see how he was practical and experimental and empirical. His approach was very scientific, very scientific. John Hunter. We have again a list of 18th century surgeon: Pericote Spots, Cooper, John Snow, Long, Syme. These are the few names. They also did a lot of work in the surgery in the 18th century. Sorry. There was a Hungarian doctor, Hungarian surgeon, John Lister. John Lister. Not Hungarian, he was a British surgeon. He was the British surgeon, John Lister. He gave a concept of infection and antiseptic in the medical science. That is one of the biggest gift by John Lister, who is a British surgeon, to medical science. Concept of infection and antiseptic. Because of John Lister, we practice antiseptic surgery, aseptic surgery, because nobody want infection. There are a few milestones in the surgery. In middle era, invention of X-ray by Roentgen in the 18th century, invention of blood group, invention of oxygen, invention of anesthesia. I should mention specially anesthesia. In 18th century, on 16th October 1846, the first anesthesia was given in England, and this is the biggest milestone in the surgery. Without anesthesia, we can't think of surgery. We can't think. Anesthesia is an integral part of surgery. What development we have in the surgical science is because of anesthesia. Credit goes to anesthesia, the field of anesthesia, anesthesiologist also. So this is the middle era. Now see the current era. Era of 20th century, 21st century. Right now we are in the 21st century. But in 20th century, we saw two world wars. The World War First, the World War Second. In the World War, many soldiers, they were injured, traumatized during war. To repair their injuries and trauma, actually surgical development took place during both world wars. Various techniques have been introduced. Many anesthetic drugs were discovered in this World War era. Repair techniques, blood transfusions, suture material. These are the gifts of World War. Think positively. So all these things, they helped to develop the surgical branch. John Dorsey, who was American surgeon, he was the first person to write a textbook of surgery. John Dorsey, an American surgeon, he wrote the first textbook of surgery. In this particular century, technically we developed beyond the limits. You can't imagine how we developed. Many inventions, discoveries we see in this century. For example, ultrasonography, CT scan, MRI, PET scan, nanotechnology, laparoscopy, endoscopy, robotic surgery, space surgery, ventilators, and so on. So we got tremendous technological development in this current century, and this surely helped us to have the standards. One thing which is coming up, as I said, minimum invasive surgery. This is amazing thing. Without opening or exposing the operative field, you can perform the procedure with minimum incision or no incision. That is truly amazing. This development is going on, will be going on. After a few decades, even we can't imagine about surgical science, about development, about many things. I missed a laser, yeah. Laser also introduced few decades before in the medical science. It is exclusively used in surgical science, surgical field, in the field of cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, even microvascular surgery. Laser is the one of the best thing we have. Now let us see what is future of surgery. In short, future of surgery. Just a minute. In future of surgery, I already told you about space surgery. Because we don't want infection, we create artificial atmosphere in the OT complex like space, because space has no bacteria, no microorganisms, means no infection. Even some surgeons, some people, some scientists, they are thinking of doing surgery in the space station in coming years. This will be the one of the most advanced development. Certain technology, certain equipments, instruments will be introduced in future, like virtual reality. Virtual reality means a virtual camera is used. And if a surgeon is operating in the operating room, operation theater, you can see the surgery in your home by using this virtual reality glasses or camera. One thing which is coming, which will be there, augmented reality. It is again most advanced thing, augmented reality with Google Glass. It is most advanced than virtual reality. In virtual reality, there are technical problems, buffers. So in augmented reality with Google Glass, these problems, they have been minimized or removed. We use just like a spec, they use glass called Google Glass. The Google Glass has 3D image support. It enables all things, to see all things which are happening in the operation theater by sitting in our home. That is augmented reality with Google Glass. There will be surgical robots. Some robots already have been introduced in medical sciences, but with advanced technology, advanced modifications, surgical robotics branch will be there within few years in the medical science. This robot will be performing surgery in the operation theater with accuracy, without any bleeding. That the robot will have a 3D camera, so they will get 3D image of any organ, so it will be helpful to operate technically. They made small incision, minimum invasive procedures. They can print, they can see all organs by 3 dimensions. They can capture the images while operating. They can print the images. That is so amazing. Just a minute. Another future of surgery is 3D printing and stimulation. In complicated and risky procedures, this technology will be used by surgeon in future. 3D, 3-dimensional printing and stimulation. What is that? In case of complicated cases, risky surgeries, they made a 3-dimensional artificial organ. 3-dimensional, they create 3-dimensional artificial organ, and the particular organ is magnified 10 to 20 times. 3D printing will be done with stimulator. They will perform surgery on that artificial organ first, and afterwards they will perform the surgery on the case. The 3D printing and stimulation will definitely help in complicated cases, risky cases. We have another concept, live diagnostic, also called eye knife. Eye knife, the intellectual surgical knife. The intellectual surgical knife. What is that? Just like a cautery, surgical knife, it has got connection or current, electric current. While making incision on tissue or skin, there will be minimum blood loss. In that intellectual knife, a mass spectrometer is inbuilt. While making incision, vaporized smoke will be analyzed simultaneously to detect chemicals, gases, tissue pattern by the knife. Just like histopathology or cytology. So during operation, during procedure, the pattern of tissue analysis, histopathology will be done at the time of surgery. So no need to remove the sample, then it is sent for histopathological examination. They will examine the sample, they will analyze, and report will come after 2 to 3 days or by the week. The period has made a short. It has been made a short. So within few hours, we get the conclusion whether which type of tissue is there, benign or malignant, grading of tissue, grading of sample, and all these things. So this technology is particularly will be used for making early detection of malignancy. So this could be a future of surgery. As I know, if a robo performs surgery, if a surgeon performs surgery, there will be a difference, and that difference is of emotions, sensation. Let the technology develop beyond the limit. We'll modify everything. We develop everything technically. We'll have the finest technology in surgery or in any branch, but we can't create emotions, feelings. You can hear an audio of any lecture. You can have video of any surgical lecture by any expert or surgeon or teacher. But delivering lecture in the classroom, in front of you, before you, with the feeling of being teacher, with the feeling of satisfaction, cannot be created artificially. Because I am dealing with my patients, my students, who are human beings, they are live. And this feeling, the emotion of teacher-students bond, patient-doctors bond, cannot be created artificially. It comes from the heart, it comes from the soul. So what I think about my students or patients cannot be created in the any lab of the world. It should be in the blood. That's all. Thank you. This is in short about introduction to surgery. In next lecture we'll discuss basic principles of surgery, fundamentals of surgery. Till then, bye. Thank you very much.